Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about somebody who is, I think, probably telling you that they're really busy. They may be canceling plans that you've made, or they may even be a bit slow to respond to text messages, unwilling to see you in person, talk on the phone. And I feel like they're being dishonest with you about what is actually distracting them because it feels to me like what's really going on is when the emotions they have for you kind of like wash over them, it's really overwhelming and they don't know how to handle those emotions. I think they're quite used to being a bit disconnected from people. And there's something about you where they feel really connected, and that's scary. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime. Sorry, a lot of wind chime time. Happy Saturday. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Jess. Hello, Corey. How we doing? If you would like a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. And below the, oh gosh, hold on, you guys. I'm like super tired today. Below where you can find my email address in the description box, there's also a link where you can find additional information on my memberships, which start at $3.99. Hello, Jess. How are you doing? Let's start off with, we're going to start with the Santa Muerte. What else do we have? All right. Three of Cups, Four of Wands in the reverse, the Magician. So first, I think it's worth calling out that this I'm distracted right now card, at the top, it says influences. So for me, of course, that rings the third party bell. And then we've got the Three of Cups, which can also refer to, too many cooks in the kitchen. This could be an influential family member, a best friend with some real strong opinions, or, I don't want to lose my wingman or my wingwoman. It could even be another person that they're interested in romantically, or an ex. But the Four of Wands is in reverse because this third party is the one that's causing the instability. And I'm just going to go ahead and say that the person we're talking about is also allowing that to happen. So the Magician is saying they have every resource available to them. The Magician is somebody that has the cup, the pentacle, the wand. Which one am I forgetting, you guys? The sword. They have all of the things that they need to be able to address this instability. But because they're actually a little bit uncomfortable with how their feelings for you make them feel, it's like, oh, I don't know. I just got so much going on. I just can't handle it. Hello, Peggy. What's going on? So they're making it seem more difficult than it actually is, basically. The Emperor, the Page of Cups in the reverse, the King of Cups. So regardless of your gender, you are, if this reading is resonating for you, you are the Emperor. The Emperor and the King of Cups energy. So this is telling me that if somebody's not going to treat you with the respect that you deserve, or if they're not going to be honest with you, they can't communicate their emotions, you're okay with moving on. I don't know why, but I see this King of Cups card as like somebody who's like finishing their beer before you move on to the next bar. And it doesn't mean you actually have to be a beer drinker, but it does mean that you're about to like dip, right? Okay, well, it doesn't matter what you say. What I'm looking at is how are you acting? And your actions tell me that you're not interested or that you're playing games. And if that's the case, then why would I wait for that? Hello, Selena. How are you doing? Knight of Cups. 5 of Cups. And the Lovers. So it's like they're caught in a little bit of like a purgatory, or like, the doctor's office lobby. Like, you aren't necessarily in the appointment, but you're not free to go. You have to stay there. You have to wait until they call your name. This is somebody who feels like they want to be able to pursue you. They want to see how things would go, but they have this problem that they have not dealt with. This 5 of Cups energy, something from the past that keeps coming up for them. And if it's the 3 of Cups, this is either a friend who's, well, we already went through this, right? It doesn't have to be a romantic love interest for them. This could just be like a close friend or family member that doesn't want to like support them pursuing you, but they see you as a soulmate. They had a choice to make and they made the wrong choice, or they're making the wrong choice. We've got the 3 of Wands in the reverse. There's an action they should have taken. I feel like it's sending a message or meeting you somewhere, and they did not take that, even though they could. They're involving someone else's feelings or emotions in this, what should be 2 people dealing with it, right? 4 of Cups and the 6 of Cups. Yeah, this is someone they've known for a long time. And this is somebody who has made it seem like pursuing something with you is a betrayal to them. So I feel whoever resonates with this Emperor, King of Cups, your assessment is you flaked out, or you can't find time to hang out. So I'm just going to go ahead and like draw my conclusions, right? I don't need you to tell me what's going on. I can see that there's an issue here. So, it is what it is. This is the Golden Ornament. Thank you, Rachel. What else do we have? The Scythe, number 10. Yeah, I think you're cutting this person out. This feels to me like blocking energy. The house, number 4, can also represent a website. So it kind of feels to me like maybe you're even getting rid of a couple people from your friends list or your followers or your whatevers. But I feel like for the majority of you, this is just like, okay, if that's how you're going to act, then like, bye. Unmatching, something along those lines. Because this person doesn't seem serious to you. We have the Page of Cups in the reverse and the 4 of Cups. It's like, well, if you're not going to pursue, you're not going to make it clear that this is something that you want, then that ambiguity tells me you don't want me. A non-answer or a lack of answer is still an answer. This is the Gilded Reverie. What else do we have? Number 38, which is the Bridges. This talks about connections, relationships. And 43, the Labyrinth or Labyrinth. If you're going to make me jump through 87 hoops and, I don't know, guess your favorite color before I can hang out with you or before you communicate, then I'm not going to jump through those 87 hoops. Like, I don't have time for that. Whoever resonates with this Emperor, King of Cups energy, it's like, I know what I have to offer. I know what I'm looking for. And it doesn't seem like you really know how to do that. It doesn't feel like you know what to do when you fall in love or when you are interested in somebody. This is the Energy Oracle. Fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel, number 39, and the man holding a heart, number 45. I can't help it. I still hear 45. Is that still a thing? Do they still do that? I don't know. So even if you have emotions, it doesn't really matter unless you're able to communicate, right? You have to be able to advocate for yourself. You have to be able to make your own decisions. And I don't know that this individual has really been able to do that. So even though they have these romantic feelings, it's the like impasse. Like I can't get to that point where I talk to you about it, or I can't figure out how to pursue something real because I have all this instability or drama that I'm dealing with right now. I still feel that they are making that seem like a bigger deal than it really is because they're uncomfortable. Hello, Nathaniel. How are you doing? What else do we have? Eight of Cups in the reverse. Ten of Pentacles. Hermit in the reverse. Yeah. For most of you, this is somebody they were in a long-term relationship with or somebody that they're related to. And if you're, best friends for 15 years, you might consider that person family. But this isn't just like, oh yeah, I've, known Joe or I've known Beth for 2 years. They're great. No, this is like my best friend, or I don't know, my brother told me you really should not be dating that person, or you don't have time for that, or I would be so upset if you did that. Ace of Wands, Tower in the reverse. So you were like, okay, that's fine. You're not interested. I will go elsewhere, because if you can't communicate when it's new and exciting and fun, then I'd hate to see what you're like when it gets like a little bit choppy. I'm going to go ahead and guess silent treatment. Yeah. Is that like your thing? You lose interest in this person. Tower in reverse is a change in perspective. You see them now as somebody that you're not interested in. Four of Wands in the reverse. Three of Swords, Four of Pentacles. We have an overly protective, meddlesome family member, or we have an ex-partner who is still heartbroken over the relationship ending. So could be like, we have children together. I didn't expect you to move on this quickly. How could you fall in love with somebody else? I was still thinking that maybe we could find a way to make it work. Or, mom is real particular about who I date, and she doesn't think you're good for me. But the reality is, I feel like this would be a family influence where my own heartbreak or my own negative expectations influence. Oh, have I named you? The Magician, the Knight of Cups, to be this Four of Pentacles. This is somebody who's like, what? Tell you who I am? Let you in? Get close to you? Nah, that sounds awful. Get away from me. So we've got the Hanged Man in the reverse, Seven of Swords, and Six of Cups in the reverse. It's like, okay, well, if you're going to just take advice from somebody who doesn't want you to be happy, then that seems like a real uphill battle for me to climb. And I'm wearing heels, so I don't think I'm going to do that. You're like, hey, if you are indecisive, to me, that indicates that you're not interested. Seven of Swords. We don't have to lie about it. You don't have to make it seem like it's something else that's happening. I think they get frustrated. It's like, that's not that. I do want you. I just don't know how to do anything about it. Six of Cups and the reverse. They're struggling to let go of old patterns. Maybe they learned some really bad habits regarding relationships because of previous connections or because of their family life. Hello, Voyager. How's it going? Ooh, excuse me. This is the truth is. What else do we have? Twin flame. Oh, Lord. And masquerading. You are involved in a twin flame union, and somebody is pretending to be what you'd like in a partner. So our confused magician, the person who has feelings for you but is struggling to let go of this influence from their family or their past. They have somebody who is pretending to be what they want. So when we're doing a general reading, there are little things that kind of splinter off, right? Different variations for different energies that I'm picking up on. And if this is a family influence that is making it difficult for this magician to express their emotions to you, there is maybe like a family approved person who's pretending to be everything that the magician wants, but it would be an unhappy union, right? The magician knows themselves better and knows that they actually have some deep feelings for this King of Cups Emperor, but they don't know how to actually do that without upsetting this person from their past or from their family. So we definitely have somebody here who's like struggling to make the right decisions, in part because they're not just, living their own life. So I love this because I'm literally calling this person the magician. And now we have the love magician coming out. Playing games just to keep your attention. You have the power to transform this connection. The thing is, this person does have emotions for you, and you walk away, you indicate that you're just fine with moving on. You're not going to like sit around and wait for this person. And it, for many of you, gets them to jump into high gear. It's like, wait, you're not waiting for me anymore? Oh no, I better pack right now. I better get in my car. I better do something right now. Hello, Carrie. How's it going? The playing games could be more about the third party, but I don't feel that it's limited to just one person. And I do feel like the magician has played games because they're not being honest about how they feel or what's actually getting in the way. I don't think that they've been real clear with you about just how much of an influence the friend or family member or ex or whatever has over them. All right, let's get some more tarot. This is the Morgan Greer. What else do we have? Knight of Swords in the reverse. Two of Swords. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Page of Cups in the reverse. You know, when toddlers are playing with game, like, I don't know, a game or a toy, something that can be fought over, right? I'm not using this toy, but when somebody else goes to use it, all of a sudden I'm like, like, this is somebody who doesn't communicate. Knight of Swords in the reverse. Even though they knew they were at a crossroads, even though they knew that they needed to do something here, they just kind of like, la, 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 I don't want to think about it. I'm just not ready. Leave me alone. And now that there is some indication that you have blocked them, walked away, expressed interest in somebody else, gone on a date with someone else, There's something here to indicate that you are no longer just like, okay, so like what's going on? I'm waiting. Are you going to tell me what's going on? That instead you decided to call it and move on. Page of Pentacles, Six of Wands. This is the approach that maybe no one's used with this magician. So I feel like there's some element of, now that I feel like I've lost you, I've realized what I was, sleeping on. I realized what I was not really acting like I wanted. Maybe I should have sent different messages. Maybe I should have been more clear about what I want. Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, a sense of loss, just like that. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So now if I want to talk to you, I know it's not going to be easy. I have to work pretty diligently to make amends with you. Hermit, Page of Wands, Ace of Wands in the reverse, Temperance. I wish I hadn't listened to my friend or ex or family member, because now that I look at the situation, I realize how foolish I was to let somebody else tell me what I should do or how I should live my life. And you leaving is actually much scarier than having to talk to you about how I feel. You don't know what you got till it's gone. And now with Temperance, I feel like there's a love interest that's much more aligned to who you are, what you want, your future, your lifestyle. It makes you wonder why you were so interested in this person. Let's see. This is the Earth and Bone Oracle. What else do we have? Beast, number 33. Conflict, competition, arguments, aggression, tension, and oppressors. There may be an argument that this magician has with that third-party influence. Shelter, spiritual growth, revival, accountability, and healing. I shouldn't have listened to you. Why did you tell me I should, do this or not do that? I feel like there's an argument. It may start over something kind of silly, like, why did you put salt on my fries? But it's really, I can't believe you influenced that decision in my life. And now I feel like I've lost somebody that was really important to me. Migration, initiate, beginnings, freedom, adventure, and first step. So you've already taken this first step to, walk away or get to know somebody else. And this is really concerning for them, but they're also trying to match your energy. They're taking the steps that they have been procrastinating on. So that argument is probably actually a good thing. Prudence, number 30. Self-assurance, honesty, integrity, perceptiveness, and clear-mindedness. I see now that I was letting somebody make my choices for me. I see that I should have just stood up to that ex or friend or family member and told them, it's real great of you to share how you feel, but that's not how I'm going to make decisions in my life. This is the Kipper. Hello, Christina. How are you doing? Adjudication, number 30. Time to make a decision, or there's going to be a sense of loss. They are realizing now you are a giant blessing in my life, and I've been over here acting like it doesn't matter. It's like if someone were to go pick up dinner from their favorite restaurant, it's their favorite, burger, lasagna, something like that. They bring it home, and it's, steaming hot, and they set it out on the table and then don't eat it for 2 hours. It's like, wouldn't you want to eat it when it's fresh? This is somebody who did not show an interest after a certain point and you've already started to move on. This change card could also indicate that you are potentially moving, leaving a job, looking into other things in your life that you could do. And they expected you to always be there. They expected you to always be hoping that they were going to finally tell you what was going on. We've got bad health, number 31, and that's because this is it's like a situation where they felt it was maybe just a little bit too easy to kind of make you feel a little bit guilty for asking you what was going on. They may have told you that someone else in their life was dealing with some health problems or that they themselves were dealing with health problems, and that's why they couldn't see you. But there was something here that made you suspect that they weren't being fully honest with you. So we have toil and labor and imprisonment. Gift in the reverse. So because I didn't want to put in the work, or because I was nervous about communicating with you about my emotions and what kind of expectations you would have of me after I confessed that, instead I just like locked up my emotions. Now I feel like I've completely ruined the opportunity with you, or this like love connection with you, because I didn't want to communicate. And you took that as a sign that I wasn't into. So like, they're starting to understand why maybe you would have just been like, okay, bye. This is the situations deck. What else do we have? Hey, Illuminati. Single, receipts. So the thing is, I feel like your Emperor, King of Cups energy is saying, well, we're not in a relationship, or if we were, now we're not. Because the thing is I don't see any like signs of interest from you. And then there's somebody else who expresses, it's like, oh, you're single now? Cool. Here's my application. Like, I've been waiting. And our magician energy is, I guess they moonlight as a clown. They're feeling frustrated because this searching or online energy is saying they find something that indicates you are interested or spending time with someone else. They could have, if you've like blocked them, they could have found your account using like a mutual friends account, or they heard it through the grapevine. They have access to some sort of update in your life that indicates you're interested in somebody else. They may have seen a car parked outside of your apartment or your house. They may have seen that, you were going somewhere, or they saw you at the grocery store with someone else. There's something here about, I know that you've moved on and I can't believe you would do that. And your response is like, well, you never like responded. You never communicated what you were thinking or feeling. It just felt like you didn't have time. So you might get a surprise visit from this person because they want to know if they communicate their feelings to you, does that change anything? At this point, I think their opinion is, I guess I've like already kind of lost you. So what's the worst that could happen? You reject me again? Hello, Shu. How are you doing? Hello, Renata. How's your day? This is, I think, someone trying to be as straightforward with their emotions as they can be. We did have some, like, what was it? Honesty, integrity, perceptiveness, clear-mindedness. So I feel for the majority of you, this person is going to come back around and they're going to tell you, I know that what I did or how I treated you was influenced by that third party, my ex, my friend, my sister, whatever. And that wasn't right. They feel like they have to be honest with you, or you're going to continue to move on without them. They're aware that you have this new beginning. Exhaustion, depletion, drained, and long journey. sorrow, loss, grief, and depression. It does seem to me like the magician has been dealing with some sort of stress, anxiety, loss, but they've clung to that as a reason to not communicate with you about how they actually felt. Hello, Pharaoh. How are you doing? Finality, farewells, leave behind, closure, and hopeless. Sinking, despair, falling apart. This person's like genuinely heartbroken. I don't know if there's any chance I can get you back. I don't know if you've like just completely forgotten about me. Are you in love with this new person? I thought I was going to have another chance with you. We have intuition. It's their intuition. No way. So remember we had the twin flame card from The Truth Is. Here is the twin flame card from the Love Oracle. If you are not involved in a twin flame situation, then the detail to focus on here is someone has the same feelings, shared feelings. They did not tell you how they felt. They do have a mirrored, connection here. They just blocked you from it. They didn't want you to know. So shocking, turmoil, trouble, unexpected. I feel like they're going to reach out to you and you really do not expect to hear from this person. For some of you, their only option is to show up and visit you because you blocked them, or, they feel like it's just a little bit out of their way. They might as well try to stop and see you, but they want to talk to you and they want to see if there is literally any chance because they do have feelings for you. And they feel like maybe you have feelings for them too. They're not 100% certain, but let's see what we've got in terms of the healing. This is the Voyage of the Soul. What do we have for the Magician, please? Emotions. Water, cry, purge, balancing, and releasing. Polarity, contrast, resistance, pull, yin and yang, and magnetic. There's something about you. They just cannot forget about you. There's something that always draws them back in, or no one really compares to you. They've got these emotions. They know they have to actually confess to them or get them, out. Seeking, soul searching, treasures, uncover, dormant, gifts, and answers. They are more in tune with nature, in tune with themselves, and they're paying closer attention to that intuition. They have been doing work. This person has a little bit of a different vibration since you saw them last. Celebration, accomplishment, reunion, invitation, event, and festival. And intuition, innate perception, instinct, clairsentience, and extrasensory. I think there's some situation, not situation. I think there's an event or some trip maybe that they would like your company, or they are making a trip towards you, but they want to see you. They want to tell you how they feel. Hello, Khalil. How are you doing? That's so weird because that's the card that I thought I saw initially. Look at how similar these are. I mean, one's more of a shadow and the other is like you can actually see the lady, but the mystery card is about silence. They have not revealed their emotions and they know they need to. So it says captivating, secrets, high priestess, mystic, and hidden, and futuristic, visions, innovative, crafty, plans, and trendsetter. They are planning something for you. I don't think it's just going to be like, hey, I was at the gas station up the road. I figured I would like stop by and bring you some nerds. I mean, it was like the gummy nerds. We could talk. This is somebody who's like, no, I can't just like show up and make it seem like it's an average conversation. I need to make it clear that I've been thinking about you. Maybe like bring a little gift or like offer to like get you some coffee or show up with your favorite Dr. Pepper, right? This is a person who's thinking long term. They feel like they need to make it clear that that's what they're doing because they've been so reserved or they've withheld how they felt. So now it's like, I've got to like outpour it and see if that's enough to convince you that I've been working on things. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. Remember, you deserve to be treated really well by someone, which includes respect and communication, right? Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.